Here to perform our national anthem, please welcome award-winning, multi-platinum country music icon and star of the upcoming Fox series Monarch, Trace Adkins.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rockets' red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave.
From Mordor to Hogwarts to Gotham, the nerds have come together to create a show for nerds by nerds. Join nerds doing nerd things as they talk about all things nerdy. Stay up to date on the show by liking the Nerds Doing Nerd Things Facebook page.
It is feature time in Tulsa. Let's go green.
He's got the run, but is it enough? It's a drag race to the finish. Culver goes from third to first in the last quarter.
Experience the world's most legendary racing events with iRacing. iRacing special events allow any member to compete in full-length multiplayer races based on some of the biggest events in motorsports all year round. Compete in virtual endurance races such as the 24 Hours of Daytona, Spa 24, and the Nürburgring 24 Hours. Take on some of the toughest races on the NASCAR calendar, such as the Daytona 500 and the Coke 600. We have races from disciplines across the racing world, from the Indy 500 to the Chili Bowl, from the Bathurst 1000 to the Crandon Championship. Our endurance special events utilize iRacing's team feature, where members can sign up and race together on their own team, swapping drivers throughout the race. Other events use iRacing Super Sessions, where you're not only racing against those on track, but against everyone taking part. As every race progresses, watch and feel the track change, with progressive time of day, dynamic weather and rain, and dynamic track debris and surface changes. Take on your favorite discipline, or try a brand new racing challenge with our biggest races of the year, the iRacing Special Events. Learn more at iracing.com/special-events.
The search is over. The most comprehensive oval scoring solution is here. Featuring oval playoffs, adjust drivers per round, custom number of rounds, custom playoff points, provisionals, optional win and you're in, custom playoff displays, rookie championships, optional minimum participation, and load those results in seconds. Visit extremescoring.info today.
The following is an All-Star 15 TV production. Hello, everybody, and welcome to Rockingham Speedway. It is time for the final cutoff race of the season right here on All-Star 15 TV. It is the ACAR Frey Truckin Series. We are about to have one barn burner of an event here for the Steele Graphics and Designs 125 from Rockingham Speedway. Joining me up in the broadcast booth, my Monday night co-host, BS partner, whatever you want to call him for these Monday night events. It's Joe Hutchings.
Hola, senoritas and senors. How are you doing on this Monday evening?
Yeah, so far so good, pal. I am really excited for the week of racing we have on the channel. Tonight we're at Rockingham. Tomorrow night and Wednesday night we go up to Michigan for the XMS Rick Motec Truck and Xfinity Series. And then Saturday, something you and the boys have been very much working hard at. It's the 24 Hours of Daytona, and we are broadcasting about 12 hours of that for HSR Phantom Racing right here on the channel. But with tonight, we have this beautiful virtual Rockingham Speedway with qualifying just finishing. We are hitting the racetrack with a lot of these drivers. Let's run down the starting lineup, and then afterwards we will get to the points here this evening. Derek Stanley, Paul Irvin, your front row. In row number 2, you have Michael Steele and Brett Murphy, James Shanewoolf, and Matt Cochran rounding out your third row. Your fourth row, Logan Tackett, TJ Barnier, and the final row, row 5, Alan Michael Bennett and Adam Capps. And I think Adam Capps might be having to bounce due to work, so keep that in mind for when that ends up happening, if he even is able to make the start of the race. But Joe, we have some new toys for us to play with. And let's kind of bring one out for everybody watching at home. We have the Battle Cam setup brought to you by JVM Graphics, and also brought to you by JVM Graphics. It's the nonstop replay cam. That way we can get you what's going on the racetrack and bring to you what just happened. Kudos to Joe for setting all that up and helped me set that up, but we are just about to get rolling. 125 laps here this evening. Each team gets 5 sets in the pits. Joe, how well do you know The Rock?
I'm old, so
Why I was asking.
I used to race The Rock on the old NASCAR games from Papyrus. So it's bumpy, it's fast, it's fun.
Yeah, and a lot of it has some weird turns when it comes to The Rock. It is really tight out of turn 2, and I will say turn 3 and 4 for these drivers is going to be a little easier than turn 1 and 2. And that start-finish line has some has a little bit of a weird placement out on the racetrack. If we have just started rolling here on the racetrack, they got the beautiful iRacing official pace truck leading the field here this evening. 77 of Derek Stanley in a little bit of a different scheme on the truck tonight. He's got BKFC on the back of it, not the Tampa Bay Lightning that we're normally seeing with him. But we're about to go green. At least I think we're about to go green. I don't think we're getting the 2 pace laps here. We'll find out if that pace truck dives down pit road. And there he goes. We are about to go green. Here we go. The Steele Graphics and Designs 125 is a go, and already Paul Irvin steps on the gas and almost goes headfirst into the wall. 77 of Derek Stanley, Michael Steele early on moving up the boards. And then the 64 of Brett Murphy as well, battling with the leaders just to get through 3 and 4. Then a little bit of a gap on lap 1 to Paul Irvin, started second. Like you saw, spun the tires, Joe, and I think we're going to see a lot of that on these restarts if we get any more tonight. I've seen a lot of issues when it comes to stepping on the gas here.
Well, that's what you get with old surface. Knowing the right gearing, being gentle with the throttle on the restart, that's going to be the key tonight, at least on the restarts.
And there they go. You're looking at the 48 of Paul Irvin on the racetrack, trying to make up some ground. Right now, fastest lap early on is that number 64 of Brett Murphy. And that last time by, it gets taken over by our race leader, Derek Stanley, with a 23:56. Now, I think
the 1 and the 4 are battling right now in the backstretch.
That's Shane Wolf and Matt Cochran on the racing track coming out of turn number 4. Kind of thought that 4 was going to kick out a little sideways on exit. We've seen a couple drivers do that out of 4 in practice and a little bit in qualifying. But Joe, they have the tires to make it to the end. They have a good chunk of fuel that they're going to go through with being about 30-ish laps on a tank. So you're really looking at a possible 4-stop race, Joe.
Might as well. And I didn't get a chance to throw down some laps to see what the tire wear is going to be, to see if it was going to be, where you can either take right sides or, try some different tire strategies or whatever. But I'm pretty sure with the amount of tires that they have, you might as well just replace them anyways.
Right side of your screen, you have the leader, Stanley, Steele in second, and Murphy in third. And then on the left side of your screen, you have Shane Wolf and Cochran. You have the Wrestling with Nerds blimp cam. Already early on in tonight's race, we are seeing a lot of separation here on the track. Now, let's talk about the points coming into tonight, Joe. It is very, very close. Shane Wolf with a nice size lead going into tonight's race with 3,100, and then Paul Irvin just 6 points back with 30.94. Adam Capps with a 30.88. Michael Steele with a 30.81, and that is tied with Joe Darnell and Brett Murphy. And Joe Darnell not here this evening, which is going to be huge. He will miss the championship for Derek Stanley, who's currently leading tonight, is doing exactly what he needs to put himself in a position to make the Final Four. And then Matt Cochran, running in that 7th position, needs everybody in front of him to have a bad night to make it to the championship 4 at Homestead next week. But Shane Wolf Sorry?
I was gonna say, heck, you don't know. Cochran might end up winning this thing and might put him straight into the.
It's not winning your
next round. No. If he wins the race and other people have issues, there is a possibility. I haven't been able to do the maths to see if it's viable. Usually, I'm pretty good at figuring that stuff out before, but I didn't do my homework. I'm sorry, AJ. You can slap me later.
But there's the battle for P2. You have the 5 of Michael Steele, the 64 of Brett Murphy, And right there, closing in on this second and third battle, is the 48 of Paul Irvin. Just waiting, maybe saving some tires, and we'll see that 48 maybe make his way through. But that gap is starting to grow between Irvin and Shane Wolf. Just about 2.5 seconds separating the two of them.
Paul's not saving anything. He's trying to get up front. The way this race is going to play out is going to be how aggressive can you be. It's good to see Stanley out front, though, after the wreck that he had last week.
Yeah, absolutely. Somebody who's been getting better every single week, and really, once the playoffs hit, was at that peak moment where he needed to be to start contending for a possible championship.
Is he in the bottom four or the top four right now? Because of the last week.
Let's pull it up. Derek Stanley is right now in the bottom four, but he had a 30-80, and Michael Steele, who is the fourth car in the round of four, the championship round. Sorry, everybody. Is just 1 point better than him, and right now Stanley is just leading every lap. He's keeping everybody else at bay. If he could just keep this up, he will eclipse Michael Steele. And if we have any tiebreakers, it goes off your best finish in that round.
They're battling for second right now. You can throw a blanket over the 2, 3, 4 place.
And I think that's where the 5's tires are starting to wear off. As the 64 Brett Murphy just scoots on by. And you see the 5 of Michael Steele trying to run that mid to high lane through the center and cuts it down towards the inside on exit.
Look at Paul Irvin sticking his nose down. He can't get up there. You watch.
And there goes Paul Irvin looking to the inside of Michael Steele. Joe, we're already 21 laps into tonight's race. We're popping off lap times right around lap 24 seconds as Twisted Alan Michael Bennett hitting pit road. He's going to be our first taker of the evening.
20 laps in. That's odd. Or he could be he could be calculating it out to where, you know, take your short stop early and then take yourself off sequence, so then you're not playing around with anybody on pit road. That it's a good strategy if they stay green, but it could end up biting you later on down the road.
Yeah. Joe, I'm sorry if you were directing anything towards me. My headset decided to just shut off.
No, you are good, sir.
But here comes that 64 Brett Murphy pulling into the race leader, Derek Stanley, as Derek Stanley's going to blink out, and he hasn't returned yet, Joe.
Oh, no.
Right now, Brett Murphy's being scored the leader. Derek Stanley hasn't come back. Logan Tackett's also on pit road as well.
Derek Stanley has dropped due to download packet loss.
No.
Yep.
Oh, no. Hopefully he can get it refired and hope for caution.
Well, that was a free position for Murphy and Irvin.
Yeah, absolutely.
kind of a bad way to get it, but I mean, take your positions as you get them.
Yeah,
Correct?
as a competitor, you'll take a point wherever you can find them. As
Looks
there
like
is the
64
gap
starting to
between
go.
our leaders, Joe. Brett Murphy in first, Paul Irvin about a half a second back, and then Shane Wolf closing in. He's now a second and a half back in third. Michael Steele has dropped all the way back to that fourth position. Logan Tackett back out on the racetrack. Derek Stanley still hasn't made it back to the racetrack. And Twisted Alan Michael Bennett is still on pit road. Ooh, very slow on that inside lane is the 64, Brett Murphy. You can see the three of Logan Tackett running very, very fast lap times compared to the leader. Joe, there is so much fall off at Rockingham. We have a fastest lap of the race at a 23:56. We're running 25:16 to 25s and a half lap times. That is some crazy fall off.
Well, that's the difference between running on, let's see, nice smooth asphalt, or pretty much might as well just call it sandpaper. All you're doing is peeling the layers of the tires off. As you see with the three here, he's got fresh tires right now. He's just going to lay waste to these guys. He's just going to blow their doors off. I'm actually kind of watching it from Paul's roll bar right now, and these guys on the fresher tires are just gone.
Yeah, as you see that, Paul Irvin's another driver, like you mentioned, falling backwards. Shane Wolf up to second. And we might be looking for a pass for the lead. We're going to jump on board of that number one of Shane Wolf as he's going to cut through on the outside.
He's got Paul Irvin following him. Oh, Paul.
Two good cams here. On the right, you have the nose cam or the roof cam of James Shane Wolf, and on the left, you have Paul Irvin's gyro cam. Great view on the racetrack as Shane Wolf gets to the lead and is setting sail.
He said, adios, amigos.
Yeah, that's exactly what he said. As we are 34 laps in, already with a lap in the lead, has already pulled away by 0.6 of a second. They should be coming down pit road within the next 5, 10, 15 at the most. We saw how fast the 3 was when he got off pit road, but I still think Tackett in the 3 came a little too early. Very interested in to see how that ends up playing out. There's your race leader, James Shane Wolf. We have a battle for second row. That's still Brett Murphy, Paul Irvin, as it looks like that 5 of Michael Steele, after being very electric early on, up front, contending for the lead, just never able to get to the lead, has had his lap times fall off a cliff. He is a second off our race leaders, and Joe, I think that's everything, trying to stay up front and get the lead while he had the tires.
Oh, definitely. You got to take what you can when you have it, and just kind of hope for the best later on down the road. Some of these guys might be looking for cautions or whatever, but with the you know, with this many trucks on the lap, it's and they're with how spread out they are. I don't think you're going to see cautions played in.
No, with how good the racing has been the last 2 months, 2.5 months, where we've basically gone caution free, maybe 1 or 2 cautions throughout the race. I don't suspect there being a caution either, but this is one heck of a battle for P2 as Paul Irvin's putting the bumper to the 64 as he's going to lay off entering turn 1.
Smart move by Paul there. You don't want to be sitting there running up the rear end of that other truck while you're while he's trying to sit there and make a corner, especially at this tough track.
And it's like he heard me. The 5, Michael Steele, that's his first lap coming off of pit road as he is trying everything to get by the 48 and the 64. A little tight on exit.
Yeah, he's gotta get past these guys pretty quick, or else, yeah, having the fresh tires is.
Here comes the 64. 64. Brett Murphy pitting from the 3rd position.
Like Shane Wolf coming in too.
And that's going to cycle everybody out. I'm curious to see where Steele, Tackett, Bennett's back out on the racetrack. Derek Stanley hasn't come back to the racing surface, so I'm guessing he's probably calling it an evening with his playoffs up in smoke as there's a 64 heading back towards the racetrack. Now, Joe, now that you've had your first run, you've had your first pit stop, how are you assessing everything?
If I have the opportunity to, I'm going to look at my tire wear, see where I can make in-truck adjustments, you know, to my brake bias or whatever to, you know, either ease off or put more into the right front or the right rear. Rockingham has always been one of those tracks where you're going to try to drive it off the right rear, but what it looks like today is that they're kind of playing around with a little bit of a tight in and then loose center and then really loose off. So check out, watch those tire, watch the tire wear. And,
just as you were saying that was perfect timing. Exactly what you were just mentioning. We jumped on board with Brett Murphy, and he almost overcorrected it into the turn 2 outside wall. Dang, Joe, it's like you've been doing this for years, both commentating and racing.
Don't say it out loud, please. I have enough careers. Am I reading this correct that Mr. Irvin cycled out to the lead?
He won for Paul Irvin. He was on pit road for a length of 46 seconds. James Shane Wolf on pit road for 56 seconds. That's a very big gap, which drops James Shane Wolf, our points leader, down to that 4th position, 8 and about half seconds back. But last time by, Paul Irvin, the fastest lap on the racetrack of the race, with a 23:51, and already it looks like we're going to have the number 3 Logan Tackett coming back into pit road.
He did pit, was it about lap 24?
Yes, this is very much off cycle.
Well, I mean, if he's got the tires to do it, short pit them all and get fresh tires and maybe try to leapfrog these guys.
Yeah, but he did hit pit road, still -2 laps.
Ooh, did he?
As there's your race leader, Paul Irvin. You're watching All-Star 15 TV's broadcast of the ACAR Frey Truckin series live from Rockingham Speedway. Race number 3 in the round of 8, cutoff night here in the league. We will be right back.
From Mordor to Hogwarts to Gotham, the nerds have come together to create a show for nerds by nerds. Join nerds doing nerd things as they talk about all things nerdy. Stay up to date on the show by liking the Nerds Doing Nerd Things Facebook page.
The search is over. The most comprehensive oval scoring solution is here. Featuring oval playoffs, adjust drivers per round, custom number of rounds, custom playoff points, provisionals, optional win and you're in, custom playoff displays, rookie championships, optional minimum participation, and load those results in seconds. Visit extremescoring.info today.
It is feature time in Tulsa. Let's go green.
He's got the run, but isn't enough. It's a drag race to the finish. Culver goes from third to first in the last quarter.
Experience the world's most legendary racing events with iRacing. iRacing special events allow any member to compete in full-length multiplayer races based on some of the biggest events in motorsports all year round. Compete in virtual endurance races such as the 24 Hours of Daytona, Spa 24, and the Nürburgring 24 Hours. Take on some of the toughest races on the NASCAR calendar, such as the Daytona 500 and the Coke 600. We have races from disciplines across the racing world, from the Indy 500 to the Chili Bowl, from the Bathurst 1000 to the Crandon Championship. Our endurance special events utilize iRacing's team feature, where members can sign up and race together on their own team, swapping drivers throughout the race. Other events use iRacing Super Sessions, where you're not only racing against those on track, but against everyone taking part. As every race progresses, watch and feel the track change, with progressive time of day, dynamic weather and rain, and dynamic track debris and surface changes. Take on your favorite discipline, or try a brand new racing challenge with our biggest races of the year, the iRacing Special Events. Learn more at iracing.com/special-events.
And we are back here on All-Star 15 TV. Thank you to everybody tuning in, watching, having a good time. Hit that like button, subscribe, follow Paul Irvin with about a 1.5 plus lead, growing to almost 2 seconds out of turn 2 over Brett Murphy. James Shanewolf still about 8.5 seconds back. Michael Steele in 4th. He's about 10.5 seconds back, and then Matt Cochran rounding out your lead lap drivers in 5th, about 20 seconds back, just going into turn 3 now, where Paul Irvin is going into turn 3 now. So that gap is very, very close. That 48 is running almost qualifying laps. Not quite, but very good laps to stay out front and continue to pull away. I think Paul Irvin probably used that whole first segment leading up to the pit stop, Joe, correct me if I'm wrong, as a where can I save, where can I burn my tires, and how long can I actually make a run, because right now he's staying consistent lap time wise, and he's
just
still
call it like
pulling
it is.
away.
It's a test session.
Yeah,
Call it like it is. It's a test session for him, pretty much.
he's having fun. It's good to see some of the drivers hit the racetrack and just mesh well with their driving style, and I think that's what The Rock does to Paul Irvin, and he is absolutely killing it tonight.
It's good to see Paul running good. I hate to be redundant with my words, but it's good seeing him running out front and having a decent night.
Yeah, he's also another driver that's had a lot of bad luck, not just in ACAR, in the other two series we have on the channel. Joe, what did you see?
Steele and I can't make out the other truck number. Were tangling up going into, I think that was one.
Well, if that's the
About a lap
88,
ago?
that's Alan Michael Bennett. We call him Twisted. Oh, it's Twisted really overdrives turn one. Gonna have a pretty big run out of two. Michael, I'd probably be just a tad bit nervous.
I wouldn't be meddling in a with a lead lap vehicle. Oh, he's in the wall.
Yes, he is. And
Come on, Twisted.
Looking at that 88, he's almost 20 laps down. He did spend a lot of time on pit road for his first pit stop. I'm kind of curious if that kind of bit him in the butt. Maybe he sped, or if he had to repair any damage. He has been smacking the outside wall quite a bit.
Or maybe he wanted ice cream. You don't know. You're supposed to laugh at that joke, AJ.
Sorry, I was clicking other stuff. Trying to keep everything looking good on the stream.
This really isn't a battle for position or anything, but it's kind of entertaining to watch.
Oh, absolutely.
Twisted's back in the wall again.
Twisted, it was Martinsville. Hale Millen was Martinsville, not The Rock.
Is he texting and driving?
I hope not. Wouldn't be surprised. Texting might not be the right terminology for what he's doing. Oh, and that's going to put the 5 in the wall. No contact between each other, but... oh, boy. Yeah, I don't know if texting is the terminology for what Twisted might be doing.
Typing and wrecking. Does that work?
Toting? Is that a word? Coking? Taking a hit? Take your pick.
Who knows?
Yeah, well, look what's on its car.
I was gonna say no. All right.
Monday nights are fun nights. There's Brett Murphy in second, about 4.5 seconds back, who the last couple laps, Brett Murphy is starting to close in on the 48. And Joe, you kind of said it last week when we were at the Roval. It's all, not the Roval, brain fart where we were last week, but gap management.
Yeah.
Very much gap management. Richmond. We were at Richmond.
Yes. Was it Richmond? I think it was. There's always gap management, but then you get somebody who's there to be like, nah, I want to lap the field.
Yeah,
I wouldn't put it past Paul to do that.
He'd very much be Kyle Busching it at that point. But both Brett Murphy and Shane Wolf are running very, very good lap times right around the ballpark of Paul Irvin, and just giving you those lap times. Last time by, Paul Irvin a 24.82, Brett Murphy with a 25.30, which must have been a really bad lap because he's been right around that 25 flat mark and then James Shanewolf at 25:18. And then you go to a Steele or a Cochran who are right around that 26-second lap mark. So there is a huge difference between our top three and the rest of the field.
This is what happens when you get green flag runs, especially when you're doing green flag pit stops and stuff. You got people that have different abilities on pit road. It's all about getting on pit road, getting into your pit stall, getting off pit road, and maximizing or minimizing your time on pit road. So obviously Paul did a really good job of it, and he's capitalizing on it. Is that my Chi-Chi's truck? Let's go Chi-Chi's. I do believe we lost AJ.
No, I'm here. Sorry.
Oh.
Doing some stuff behind the scenes. There's Chi-Chi's and the 64 of Murphy. That means we only have, as of right now, and probably going to be very close
Oh
to...
no! Commentator curse. Talked about Chi-Chi's truck and he ends up in the dang wall. Sorry. I apologize. It's my fault.
We're about to only have 3 trucks on the lead lap as Paul Irvin is trying to get by the 5 of Michael Steele.
And it looks like Steele just said, you ain't getting around me. No way, Jose. Wait, his name's not Jose. What's the Spanish word for Paul?
I think it's just Paul.
I do believe the 1 is on pit road.
That 1 would be James Shanewolf, and yes, he is. And what again? Logan Tackett on pit road again. I think they're on pit road at the same time. Yeah, they are. Now that's gonna have to pull everybody else onto pit road. Joe Michael Steele now coming in. Brett Murphy and Paul Irvin, they can't stay out there too long. They have to be coming down pit road. Now don't go anywhere, everybody.
Okay.
Once we throw the checkered flag, we have a winner and our podium drivers. We will be talking to the 3 of them if they do make themselves available to us. But this race is flying by, Joe. We already have lap 80 on the board. We're sitting with just 45 laps to go already. We have 1 more pit stop to do. This is insane, Joe. Oh, there goes the 3, hard into the outside wall.
Ooh.
He's going to remain going the right way. Joe, we're going to have to drop that back to the live non-stop review. Keep it looking. Nope. I do the review. You keep looking at live.
Got it. Sorry, we're playing with new toys.
And there's Logan Tackett. Oh, right in the wall. We're going to jump on board so you guys can take a look at that as well. Just clips the apron and just rides the wall. Probably get you a good score multiplier on Tony Hawk with that wall ride. Wow. Brett Murphy's now on pit road. Paul Irvin continuing to stay out on the racetrack as we're taking it back to that live screen. There's your race leader, Paul Irvin, staying out. Matt Cochran takes over that 2nd place position. Brett Murphy in 3rd on pit road, getting passed by James Shanewolf on the racetrack. Fastest lap of the race, 23:44. It is go time for that number 1.
Oh, for sure. If he wants to make up any ground on Paul, he's going to have to burn those good years off that truck.
And I am very nervous for that
Paul's on pit road.
when he hits pit road like he is right now. Did he stay out too long? Shane Wolf was running about 2 seconds faster a lap time. We're not going to have to wait long to see what's going to happen, Joe, as Shane Wolf is putting himself back on the lead lap right there. Joe, let's go side-by-side battle cam. You show Paul Irvin on pit road, and I'll take Shane Wolf.
I got Paul on pit road right now.
There it is. There is the gap between the two of them. This is for the race lead. Shane Wolf out of turn 4. Paul Irvin still in his box.
Oh, he's rolling. He's rolling.
There's the race lead right there. Wow. And that's the difference, Joe. Staying out an extra 7-8 laps. That's the difference, about 4 seconds on the racetrack.
Yeah, but Paul's going to have fresher tires right now. It shouldn't be an issue to run down Shane Wolf unless...
Joe, it's James Shane Wolf. If he doesn't want you to catch him, there's a good chance you ain't catching him. But we'll wait and see.
I have confidence in Paul.
Oh, so do I. Don't get me wrong. Paul's a great driver. Great driver in the league. But it's very difficult to get to Shane Wolf and then past Shane Wolf. We'll take a look at the lap times in a few laps to see how everything's looking. But yeah, Shane Wolf hits pit road at lap 77. Paul Irvin 84. Brett Murphy 81. And then Michael Steele in 4th, 1 lap down on lap 77 as well. That was a good lap for Paul Irvin. About 4/10 faster than Shane Wolf.
We're just gonna watch that gap number just peel down. I think the 8 laps that Paul stayed out, he could end up making up the difference.
There's your race leader. That lead has dropped down to just about 3 seconds, Joe. Paul Irvin is making headway. Spot on to it, pal.
That's what you get with a sandpaper track.
Hey, they had 5 sets of tires they could have changed this evening.
And there it is. On the right side of your screen is your race leader. On the left side of your screen, it's Paul Irvin. And we are seeing that gap just about 2.5 seconds with 35 to go. TJ, another great race for the ACAR Frey Truckin series. Thought we were about to have a caution there, pal, with Logan Tackett trying to wall grind.
Yeah, how you can have a vehicle on its side and not have a caution's beyond me. As Brett Murphy keyed over the mic, he said, I think iRacing just wants to get this done as quick as possible, too. So,
I mean, PJ, this might be our fastest race of the year. We are less than 35 laps to go, and we've only been running for about 40 minutes.
Yeah, and I mean, the big battle right now is that 4th and 5th position to make the cut, I believe. I mean, I'm not a guru of points, but logic would tell me that Shane Wolf, Irving, and Murphy have done enough to this point, being that they're not lapped. And Steele and Cochran are going to be fighting for that final spot in Homestead. I don't know how tight that battle is, because, I mean, my telemetry isn't as high tech is yours. It doesn't tell me how far apart they are.
Between Steele and Cochran, about 12 and a half seconds. Steele over Cochran.
And I don't believe anybody's pitting from here on out. I think they've made one pit stop.
They got one more pit stop to make.
They got one more.
Especially
Uno Master.
Especially Shane Wolf and Steele. They are going to have to stop.
I don't think Cochran is stopping again.
Paul might be able to stretch it.
The gap's under 2 seconds now, isn't it?
The survey says yes, just over a second.
Yeah, that's an 8-lap difference on tires. Ding.
Joe, we are under a second now.
You're talking Steele and Cochran?
No, we're talking Shane Wolf and Irvin for the race win.
Oh, yeah. Those boys, I have a feeling, are going to be dueling it out.
Steele and Cochran are still 12 seconds apart.
I don't know. Cochran's one of them guys, he'll roll the dice and stay out until the bitter end. Steele only had to make 6 more laps than he did on his last run. I don't know if it's possible.
There it is. The battle for the lead coming out of turn 4. Do you think Irvin is just biding his time? Or is this a track or a race that we're going to see? You can get to somebody, but it might be difficult to pass them. I wouldn't be surprised if those tires are gone, Joe.
Watch this. He's going to get that nose inside. He's going to get the inside position.
There it is.
That's fast for the lead there.
Did you see Shane Wolf a little squirrely?
That's that what I was talking about. Tight in, loose in the center, and then, oh my God, it's loose coming off the corner.
You know, the last time, AJ, I think this series was here, I was running, and I think I got the t-shirt that said, "I survived the rock."
TJ also doesn't help that you were doing about 10 to 15 mile an hour slower than everybody else just so you didn't wreck the car.
Well, I also finished on the lead lap, if I remember right.
Shane Wolf's on pit road.
There it is. Your first taker. Does that
early?
It puts him in the window. And here comes Michael Steele as well. Steele hitting pit road. That means Cochran's going to take over P4. He's also going to have Paul Irvin right behind him, put him another lap down.
I know that playoff cut line was real tight.
There it is on your screen for everybody. Michael Steele with the very slight advantage. Over Darnell, who's not here, and Brett Murphy, who is currently running in that second position. So right now, that 4th spot most likely going to the 64 if Michael Steele can figure out how to gain a couple positions, as we might have contact between two teammates.
It's just Robin. Robin's racing. This is a little kiss.
I don't know why, but I heard you don't need to pass me. I heard it. Might not have been said.
And I hear in my brain, I'm going to pass you anyways. Like right now.
Interesting with that 3 truck back behind him, knowing the issues he's already had. this evening. When do you think the 4 comes in, if he comes in at all?
I would have said 5 laps ago when Shane will pit. Because you got to look at it this way. The battle is still with Matt Cochran and Michael Steele. Michael Steele on brand new tires has enough fuel to make it to the end, but Michael Steele is a second faster a lap than Matt Cochran.
But he's also got a lap to play with.
About 27 seconds separating for position Matt Cochran and Michael Steele.
Matt went 41 on the opening stanza, made it to 83 on the second run. That's putting him real tight up to that 125 marker.
Now, we've been talking about lap times all night, TJ and Joe as well. Paul Irvin hasn't had the fall off we've seen for the majority of the race. Shane Wolf, who I was expecting to put qualifying laps out, from Paul Irvin to Shane Wolf, there's only about 3-4 tenths separating them last time by.
Steele just cleared.
Software that you have there, AJ.
What's up?
Murphy pitted, right?
Murphy pit on lap 81, Paul Irvin on 84, and then Matt Cochran on 82.
Steele has cleared around that Ford machine. Obviously, he's still got a lap to make up, but he's gone by him.
Yeah, almost 2 seconds a lap time for Cochran and Steele separating them.
In fact, the big thing now would be Michael's reeling in Paul. In the event of a yellow, he wouldn't get trapped down a lap to the Ford truck. In fact, Paul's just going to give it to him. This is going to be big for Michael's chances for something to happen.
Joe, if you're Michael Steele or Matt Cochran, how aggressive are you right now?
Michael has nothing to lose. He's pitted his final time. He goes as hard as he can go. He knows he's only got to make another 14, 15 laps. If Cochran's saving, Cochran has to save until he knows he's good.
All right,
which could be right up to the last lap.
Now let me try that to Joe, who I asked it to.
What was the question again, sir?
How important is it for Michael Steele and Matt Cochran to just flat out go right now, even though Matt Cochran really can't?
You have no choice.
Yep, that's probably a.
As hard as you have to run as hard as you can right now. You got cutoff race and the championship on the line. Don't hold back.
Yeah, not at all. And last time by, your fastest driver on the racetrack was James Shanewell for 24.14 to Michael Steele's 24.18. I'm going to be very impressed now that we are under 10 laps to go next time by if Paul Irvin can make it, or even Brett Murphy. You're asking for over 40 laps?
If you save enough fuel early in the run, you should be able to make it, maybe? Maybe that's what he figured out. When he,
what does your wonderful tool tell you? Your calculator.
Oh, I can't calculate it right now. I don't have his fuel data.
I tried, everybody.
I mean, I can tell you Michael went 37 and 41 on his first 2 runs. And then obviously he went in and topped off there on a short little thing. For Paul, I think we said it was 84. Paul pitted in on 41 the first time.
I think that 48 has been managing since he pit on lap 84. He refused to put down blazer lap after blazer lap. He's been right around that 24 to 24 and a half lap time. And I'm betting that is managing tires and managing fuel to make it to the end, which is absolutely insane. I'm really excited to see how this 64 is gonna work out with Brett Murphy. He pit 3 laps ahead of Paul Irvin, as we're gonna jump on board with that 64 to hear how that's going. You could hear it, all that off throttle time. And even on the backstretch, I don't think he's getting full throttle. I don't think Brett Murphy or Paul Irvin are getting full throttle. Joe, what do you have?
I'm looking at the tech right now. He's not going full throttle. Neither is Paul.
But I'm surprised neither of them are clutching though. Or neither of them have been clutching.
That
4
lifting
laps
and
to
coasting
go.
does wonders.
I mean, I don't know how far the fuel goes. Maybe it's been tires that have been their issue all night. They're willing to let it ride here. I mean, nobody's catching them if they don't pit.
No, not at all. Irvin has everybody second on back, a lap down. The only 2 on the lead lap are the 48 and the 64. And if we win another 10 laps, I wouldn't be surprised if Irvin lapped the whole field.
I tell you, it's going to be real tight on that cutoff spot.
Very. That's why I need you to confirm with somebody else if there is a ruling on that. And coming out of turn 4, the white flag brought to you by the Wrestling with Nerds podcast. 1 lap to go here at Rockingham Speedway. The 48 of Paul Irvin through 1 and 2 for the final time. Punching his ticket to Homestead is just 2 turns away. And how fitting, right beside him in the number 5, tonight's sponsor of tonight's race. Paul Irvin is going to win the Steele Graphics and Designs 125.
Way to go, Paul.
I am very excited to talk to him and Brett Murphy to see how much saving and just for P3, there it is. James Shanewolf in the number 1. And I'm pretty sure
Murphy ran out. Maybe not, but he was coasting at the line. I mean, 98, 97.
iRacing's got him scored in second.
No, he got it. I just think, well, now it's saying lap 126, so maybe he was already around a lap.
Yeah, Irvin and Murphy were the only 2 drivers on the lead lap.
I just know when Michael approached the start-finish line, Murphy was going real slow.
Now, what do you know? That 48 in victory lane. See if we can get all that set up.
Let me go talk to my people. I'll be back.
Just waiting for people to join the waiting room. Well, there's 2 and 1. We're waiting for P3 to talk to P3. And there he is. The driver of the number 1 Toyota Tundra coming home in P3. It's James Shanewolf. Congratulations, dude. Very fast truck out there, but how was it? It kind of looked fun.
Dude, that sucked.
Okay, I guess it didn't look fun.
No, so I broke my pedals earlier this week and just bought a new cord like 20 minutes before the race started for him and didn't even test it, just loaded into the session. I had no brakes, AJ, for majority of that race. Like that whole first run, the first pit stop, I had 0 brakes. That's how Paul got so far ahead of me. I couldn't stop for my pit box.
Wow. And for you to have all those issues and still finish P3 at Rockingham, you said it sucked, but you put on one heck of a show tonight.
Well, I appreciate it, man. I wish the circumstances were a little bit different because we had the speed.
You ain't kidding.
Caught that first run with no brakes. I caught them guys and was able to pull away a little bit once I got some clean air under the nose. And after that, man, I tried to fix the brakes in pit road. I moved it over to my clutch pedal and took up a bunch of time, lost a bunch of time.
I'm guessing that's where the extra 10 seconds on pit road came from on that first stop.
Yep. Was trying to calibrate my pedals or recalibrate my pedals to at least have some sort of a way to stop. And using the clutch pedal, going from a load cell brake pedal, a stiff load cell brake pedal, to a really soft clutch pedal is tough, man. Because you're constantly putting too much pressure or not enough pressure on it. Because you're used to being able to just put your foot through it. And,
yeah, you basically had to relearn it.
Yeah. So that sucked. I hated it. I love the track. It was a fun race, but I hated it. I never want to do that again.
Well,
yeah.
Let me be the first person to congratulate you to the round of 4 racing for a championship next week at Homestead Miami Speedway.
Well, I appreciate that, man. I'm looking forward to it. Yeah, it's been a hell of a season, man. We've got momentum on our side here towards the end of the season, which is always good. You know, we've had a couple good runs the last couple weeks. Even with tonight, you know, I'm not mad about a 3rd place finish. I'm not mad at all about that. I got up there, led some laps, and like I said, was facing all the issues I was facing. So, you know, I'm gonna hang my head high on it and move forward to I think it's Homestead next week for the finale.
Yes, sir.
Really good track for me. I love Homestead. I love the multi-groove racing there. It's slick. It's loose. You're constantly sideways, and that's my kind of track, man. So I'm really looking forward to next week. Hopefully we can make something happen there.
Yeah, I'm very excited for it. I think we're going to have a very awesome championship race next week. It's probably going to be more of the norm with how clean it's been, how fun it's been, and how aggressive the racing has been and clean. But James, before we let you go, plug those beautiful people that you like to thank.
First off, shout out to Paul. Congrats on the win. And I appreciate him letting me by there right on the last lap because I didn't think about it until the end. I knew Brett was saving. I was like, man, he might run out of gas. I was like, Paul, let me get that lap back coming out of 4. And he did. And I think Brett did run out of gas. I just think I ran out of time trying to get there. So shout out to Paul for that. Alex at Alex Save You Time there in South Hill, Virginia. My dad got me hooked up with him. So shout out to my dad for bringing that sponsor on board. Adam Capps at Elite Entertainment, John at Nifty Lift, Brian at Easler Electric, you guys up here in the booth, everybody behind the scenes here at ACAR, Drew Trader at Transcendent Designs for teaching me how to run my company here, Bullet Design Co. So yeah, just everybody that's ever had a part in it, man. Appreciate you guys. Don't know what my plans are yet for next season. Not really too focused on it right now. I'm gonna focus more on coming back next week and trying to wrap this deal up. So
you're dang right. You better be focused on next week, especially having Paul Irvin up there to battle with, Brett Murphy possibly to battle with. Points have to be done. I'm just talking in unofficial results. But well, dude, you have a fight next week.
Yeah, well, the good thing about that, man, is Paul's my teammate, so I can wreck the hell out of him, and it'll be all good. So,
all right, you're calling it here now. If the 1 and the 48 get together, it was planned. At least on the one side, the 48 probably had no clue it was coming unless he listens to the broadcast.
Oh, he knows. He knows. We've raced together long enough. I expect the same out of him.
All right, James, as always, it is an absolute pleasure to talk to you. Thank you for letting us have a couple moments with you, finishing third here this evening at Rockingham Speedway.
Yeah, real quick, one more thing. If Sydney Sweeney is by chance watching, can you please respond to me on Instagram? I've been sliding into DMs for like 2 years now, and I'm starting to think I don't have a chance. So if you're out there, please respond.
I love it. I love it. If anybody could just clip this and tag her somehow, help a brother out. All right, that's James Shane. We're finishing third here tonight. See you later, pal.
Later, buddy.
All right, Joe, you ready for P2 Brett Murphy?
Sure. Brett, P2. How did you? We want to know. Did you run out of fuel at the end of that race?
No, I was messing around. I wanted to give James a gleam of hope, so I decided to coast it through 3 and 4. And then once I saw him come up, I stepped on the gas because I was just having a little fun.
That is evil. We love it.
It's a rare chance I get to be a heel.
There you go. Just give us a rundown of how the race went for you.
Well, for starters, I felt pretty bad that Derek's internet failed him tonight. He was telling me that he was lagging out, and then I saw the message that he got disconnected, so that was unfortunate. That's going to be a what if that will probably be running back for a while, but I don't know. The 48 and the 1 are always the two best in this league, so I kind of knew that they were at some point they were probably going to overtake me, considering I didn't do any practice or anything. I don't think I've raced at Rockingham in like over a year. But no, it was a fun race, I guess. I wish there were more cars, but you know, what are you going to do? That happens to most leagues once we hit the playoffs. But either way, I was pretty surprised that I got second, and I'm pretty sure that I'm in the Final Four, so that's pretty cool too.
Can confirm you are a Final Four driver.
Wait, I'm the one that's supposed to do the math. What the heck?
I don't need your math to know that the guy finished second, was already on the cusp of making it, and got in.
Well, congratulations on making it into the playoffs and your second place. Is there anybody you want to shout out? Any sponsors you want to plug?
Oh, yeah. Shout out to Beyond Wrestling, Wrestling Open, IWT, Independent Wrestling TV, streaming Wrestling Open, streaming every Thursday. I just wrestled WWE ID contract Bryce Donovan this past Thursday. If you were watching, you know what happened, and if you didn't watch, I didn't win, but it was still a hell of a bout, so can't wait to get back on there this Thursday at 8 o'clock. I can't speak to what's happening yet, but it's pretty big for Beyond Wrestling and Wrestling Open as a whole, and I'm happy that I get to be a part of it, so definitely tune in. And then I guess my teammates, Chris Sawyer, Derek Stanley, they're big help through the race. They were coaching me through the fuel there at the end. Chris unfortunately missed the sign up, and once Derek was out, he was helping me trying to get there, so that was a fun race.
Well, congratulations again on your second place finish tonight.
Thank you.
Get you some practice and go try to win you a championship, dog.
Oh my God, I'm gonna need all the practice in the world. I mean, like, I liked racing there in the ARCA cars, and I liked the Gen 4 there, and then last time I raced there in a truck, it didn't go well, so I'm hoping that next Monday is a different story.
Teal Steele could be holding an ACAR championship belt. Just saying.
I really hope so. It's gonna be a hell of a bout next week, but it's been a pleasure racing in this league, regardless. In case I don't make the final 3 for an interview, it's been a fun league, and you guys have done a great job broadcasting. So thanks to everybody in the broadcast booth.
Thank you, pal. Appreciate it, dude. Congrats on the second place finish, and we'll talk to you at Homestead next week.
All right, I hope we do. It's going to be fun.
All right, that is Brett Murphy, P2 this evening, and since T wants to join us in the broadcast booth, he could talk to our race winner, Paul Irvin.
Paul Irvin, you got a copy?
10-4.
I mean, I don't think it's a shock to anybody that you're probably odds on the favorite next week at Homestead.
Do we dare go 3 for 3?
I'd love to see that battle you and James are going to have. And don't forget, Mr. Teal Steele himself and Michael Steele might get tag teamed.
Oh boy, I hope not. I hope it's a night like tonight where it's just calm and methodical and just everything plays out perfectly the way that I needed it to, and see myself, pretty much a full lap ahead of the field.
Were you ever in fear of fuel or any of that jazz, or were you just letting it ride?
I mean, I saw at the start of the race how close we were to making it a 2-stop versus a 3-stop. So once I hit my lap marker on that first run, and especially on the second run, I actually saved an extra lap than I needed. No concerns there at the end. And saw in that first stop, Shane Wolf was the only one that had a shot of making it. And then he pitted, 3 or 4 laps too early on the second run. I'm like, I don't have to race anybody. Just everybody keep it on the track, keep cool and collected, and just bring it home in one piece.
Yeah, I know your heart rate got a little flutter there when Michael got tight there in front of you. I happened to be listening in and watching that happen. I go, oh man, that looked ugly.
Yeah, trying to give. I mean, I'm sure I looked like the lap truck out there sometimes. Just everybody pass me, everybody go by me. No one even look at me. I'm not even on the track. But no, he managed to hold on to it and gave each other just enough room to not cause any incident. And no hard feelings for him. I know it was kind of a tough truck out there at times, especially on newer tires. But everybody did a good job tonight, and looking forward to next week.
How we went caution free, if you get to go back and see it, and see that 3 truck literally going down the straightaway on his side, I'll never know.
I don't have to go back and see it. It happened right in my rear view. Like he went to pass me, and I'm like, all right, I'm gonna let him have the inside, and I see him get loose. I'm like, that's not gonna be good. And I see him pulling a whole Tony Hawk grinding on the wall, and I was like, well, there goes any sort of strategy. But I guess NASCAR decided that we needed another green flag run.
Yeah, they wanted out. They wanted to get out of here. You guys did phenomenal. Race was quick. Another beautiful show. I mean, one more. We got one more in us like that. I hope. I don't know which one of you four is going to be hosting the trophy, but as long as it's a good show to get there, I think it'll be a hell of a year we've had.
I believe it'll be a good show. Homestead always has beautiful racing with the different lines that you can run. It's always tight, close, action-packed racing. So I'm looking forward to it, and hopefully we're talking to you again here next week with a trophy instead of our heads hanging down, thinking what could have been.
Anybody you want to plug before we get you out of here?
Yeah, obviously Joe Darnell. He's dealing with some pain tonight while he wasn't on the track, but obviously shout out to him and the whole team doing well tonight. Obviously Shane Wolf making it to the Final Four as well. Looking forward to running with him, and we always have good hard racing together, but it's 9 times out of 10 it's clean, so looking forward to that. Shout out to Dustin Carroll, as always, for the beautiful paint schemes that you see on the track week in and week out. And obviously shout out to you guys up in the booth for always putting on one hell of a show.
Appreciate it, dude. Congrats on the win. We'll see you at Homestead Miami Speedway next week.
Thank you, guys. Get the cot.
That's Paul Irvin, everybody. Joe, take us home tonight.
Clean race, good strategy. It was fun to watch. There's nothing much to say. They've put on good shows for these last few races, and pretty happy with the product that's been put out there. Congratulations to Paul. Congratulations to our 4 finalists, or their final 4 for the playoffs. And next week's going to be really fun.
So, per TJ doing the math and all that stuff, the final 4 going into Homestead Miami Speedway. The 48, the 1, the 5, and 64. So that is James Shanewolf, Michael Steele, Paul Irvin, and Brett Murphy. Your final 4 going into next week's race.
Congratulations, gentlemen.
Absolutely.
I can't wait to watch that title fight.
Absolutely. But tomorrow, we go to Michigan for the XMS Rick Motec Truck Series, and Wednesday we run that back. We stay up in Michigan for the Xfinity Series as well. But have a good one, everybody. These might be the last couple broadcasts we have on TikTok, so if you haven't yet, just in case it sticks around, hit that follow button. We'll catch you later, everybody.